Hello, Critical Issues folks, and welcome to another week. This week, we're going to talk about leadership in the academy, and it's a discussion that I thought we might focus mostly on presidential leadership, although I think some discussion outside the realm of presidential leadership is certainly worthy of discussion. Leadership, of course, is such a just complex and um, kind of mushy issue to study, to be honest with you, even if I can use the word mushy. But not a difficult or not an easy thing to study. But there are some people who have written widely about it and are quite scholarly in their approach to figuring out leadership and leadership on college and university campuses. And so I thought it would be useful for us to have a conversation about leadership on college and university campuses. Much of the reason for that is that it is so different a culture to lead when you're leading on a college campus than, for example, a for-profit business or even another type of nonprofit organization, because of all the constituencies that really think that they should have a firm say in what's going on. You're not going to see a whole lot of people who used to work at Coca-Cola or used to sell Coca-Cola or whichever, rising up and telling the CEO how they need to run the company. Now, certainly, there are times when people register opinions about a particular practice of a company. Interestingly, with the example I just gave about Coke, there was what do you call it? A as hmm, boy, this is tough. Something that they tried out for the first time. Word will come to me later. An experiment. That's it. They did an experiment in the 80s, I believe it was, and came out with new Coke. And they changed the flavor of Coke, and people got really upset. They used prominent celebrities to try and sell it, and then eventually it went by the wayside. So certainly something that drastic. But when you're talking about a college or university, you have alumni, you have state legislators, if it's public in particular, you have students, you have faculty, you have administrators, staff, donors, all kinds of people who really think that they should be running the university. And so to be a college president is an immensely difficult job. And to exercise any kind of leadership in that position is immensely difficult. And some people, I think, have tried different things, and we can learn from their example of how not to do things. I'm having you read an article about what one might call the disaster in Wyoming that occurred, where a new president came in and was fired within 4 months, largely because he kept firing people. Um, and he, of course, has a little bit of a history at Oklahoma State, having served as our provost. So, thought it's an interesting thing for us to discuss. And there are others who are just perennially in trouble. You know, you got some presidents who seem to every place they go, they have some amazing gifts, but then one or two things get them into trouble, and they have to skip town. So, a lot of those issues are out there and worthy of our discussion. So, let's talk this week online thoughtfully about leadership, how it applies to the college or university campus, how it might function differently because we're on a college campus, and what are some of those challenges of leadership? How can we deal with those? How can you, as a leader who grows into his or her own on the college campus, exercising greater amounts of leadership as time goes on, what's best for you in terms of how you might function, know your leadership style, work within those strengths. So I know we'll have a great week discussing this topic. Thank you so much, and let's have a great discussion.